AskReddit by PayLamadillo 254. Men of Reddit, what's the one thing you hate about being a man? Sometimes my penis just won't listen to me. My dick when there's a emotionally distressed woman crying in my arms, guess it's time to get big now. When I go to pee and have it all lined up just for it to shoot out a 40-degree angle. Even worse is when you get a split stream where you can't angle both of them into the bowl at the same time. The automatic assumption that I just know about mechanics, carpentry, and DIY. I notice this with my dad. Everyone assumes he knows what he's talking about when it comes to mechanics or DIY stuff, but he has no idea, so he comes to ask me or my mum because he's utterly clueless, but yet no matter how much he tells people, they still keep coming back to him. Many people in my life assume that I can just turn off my anxiety and depression at will to power through because manly man reasons. And if you fail to do just that, then you risk being seen as weak and you're treated even more poorly. So helpful for that depression being looked down upon and ignored. Yeesh. And it just adds to us guys feeling as if our only course in life is to be emotionally detached and cold at all times and with everything in life. To be otherwise is typically met with ridicule and admonishment. Yet paradoxically we must also be the ones to show the most vulnerability by always initiating any forms of affection and risking all of the rejection, whether it be asking a girl out or trying to receive physical affection from your wife. It's why we value, or easily manipulated by, you women who genuinely tell us kind things about ourselves or physically show us you want us. You girls doing it to show us you love us are the real MVPs of life. As a single dad, my son is generally excluded from things like park meetups or birthday parties because apparently I don't fit in with the other parents. I've probably been told it 1,000 times in 1,000 variations. What they actually mean is I'm a man and mums don't want me around because it's generally just mums. I invited all of the kids in my daughter's preschool class to her party, and one mum asked if Rachel's dad would be there. I asked her if she had a restraining order against Rachel's dad or something, and she said something to the effect of because he's a single dad, he's gonna try grooming my daughter too. I met this guy at a previous party and I now remember this mother, because she was gossiping with the other mothers saying that he was so close with his daughter, she gave him a kiss and this mother gagged. Like, it's gross to her that a single guy parent and his only 3 years old daughter were close. That mum was politely told not to come. F all that. If you sit to pee, sometimes you will screw up and piss through the gap between the toilet seat and the bowl. The fucking worst. Lack of emotional support. People always think you have some hidden agenda. And when you voice frustration and upset, people take it as anger. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Thoreau. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the English way. Pink Floyd. Dick touching the cold porcelain of the toilet. Deleted. Leaking after I pee, no matter how much I shake it out. That's because there's a bend in the male urethra keeping back the last drops. There's a point between the bowel sac and the anus, where you can softly press to straighten said bend. Ever since I discovered this, I stopped leaking after I pee, and I was quite furious that this isn't more common knowledge. Edit. Many thanks for the awards and acknowledgements. That I must be swift as the coursing river. Li Shan gave me unrealistic expectations for men from age 10. About a month ago, I was walking down the street in Copenhagen. It was close to midnight, and I was the only one on the street. It was dark and a bit foggy. I was minding my own business, having my headphones on. I hadn't noticed, at some point, I was walking about 15 feet behind a young woman. She was clearly walking faster, slightly looking over her shoulder at me. I understood the situation, and stopped walking, pretending to look at windows, while she had time to walk out of sight. I understand why she probably was nervous, walking alone down a dark street. with an older guy walking behind her, and as such, spare her space to get some distance between us. I also hate that's where we are. This is especially sad considering how Copenhagen is one of the safest places on earth. If there's any one thing, it's that I never feel like I'm desired. If I don't make a move, no moves will be made. Right on. Also, I'm kind of stuck in a rut right now where I feel like I have to be there for everyone but none is ever there for me. Although it's a lonely feeling, I try to combat it by making changes little by little. Ass hair. That's the muffler for your farts. Prostate cancer. I guess men's fashion. I've had absolutely no luck finding anything I like, and all my current clothes are very plain. See, I'm okay with dressing plain. My problem is that I'm a tall skinny bastard. So finding clothes that are long enough, while also not looking like I'm wearing a circus tent, is an issue. Unintentionally scaring women and kids. Was sitting in my car waiting for my wife. The owner of the car next to me came out to get into her car, saw me, and hurriedly jumped in her car and locked the doors. I was wondering why she was acting so scared. I was in a desolate 711 parking eating my hot dog before heading to work. A lady pulls up and parks about 3 spots down. I glance in her direction and notice her giving me the stink eye. I sat there for about 15-20 minutes. Then noticed that as I pulled off she finally exited her vehicle. Tons of pressure to lead, to earn, and to provide. All while walking on a very narrow road. I put this pressure on myself more than anything else. I know it's bad and I should be easier on myself, but I can't break out of it mentally. Sometimes, especially when things aren't going well financially, it crushes me. No amount of my partner saying it's okay makes it go away. Having to kill the spider. Bitch, I'm scared too. I'm deeply scared of spiders, but so is my wife. As long as she finds it first and gets scared, then somehow I come over all brave and can dispose of it easily. Today made me realize a new one. I recently got 2 kittens and when I went outside with them today they attacked my drawstring. One of their claws pierced my sack. Deleted. I love children and I would love to babysit, but people think it's creepy that a man likes children, but I don't mean any sexual intentions. I just love them because they are innocent and their minds are so creative. I love playing with them because I'm still a child in my heart. I was married to a child abuse survivor. She unfortunately put a wall between me and my own boys when they were little. I even didn't recognize why until recently. I love kids. I was a mailman and somehow, people felt less scared of me interacting with their little ones. I guess the uniform helps. Life sucks sometimes. When I used to date, I used to tell how I would have loved a little girl and I can see the disgust in their eyes. This is now a hard boundary for my next relationship. I feel you, we are all kids after all, and being an adult doesn't stop us to be goofy and full of fun. Kids recognize it though, but for others we are just creepy old dudes. Looking at an entire wall of clothing in a store and only seeing neutral colors and blue. I lad, looking at an entire wall of clothing and realizing nothing fits you. I'm 6'6" inches with a long torso and average length legs. Literally no clothes are made for me. I don't envy women's fashion, as it seems overly complicated, but man, I wouldn't give to just throw on like the male equivalent of a sundress and not have to worry about fit. The one thing I dislike on the whole is being framed as a big strong man in the context that means I'm about to be asked, read, told, to do grunt work. Like, no. You aren't flattering me or buttering me up as much as you seem to think you are. Really, anything that plays to you're a straight dude, so we're going to play to your ego and or innate love of cars, spots, and women as sex objects just misses me and leaves me feeling insulted. Don't get me wrong. Being seen as a predator or a potential threat also sucks, but I can at least understand that. I know I'm not a danger to women, but they don't. Visually, I'm a big strong man. I'm 6 and not athletic but decent build. Thing is, I've got health issues that you don't see on the outside. People assume I'm young and healthy and can go, but I have my limits. When I need to take a break and relax before my body gives out. Weird medical thing. Don't feel like explaining to internet strangers right now. Nothing life-threatening, just awkward and uncomfortable. People always just say come on, just a bit more and we're done. Yeah, that's great. I need to sit and chill a minute. It's a pet peeve of mine. But how a lot of girls expect guys to approach them, or impress them. Guys are expected to go up to girls to start a conversation, or ask them out. Why? The Bumble dating app tried to reverse this by getting women to start conversations. All that did was get women to say hey. From my experience as a guy, if you reply with a hey back, they don't reply anymore. If a guy did that, I can tell you that the response would be split 50/50, those that respond and those that don't. But if a woman said hey, most guys will respond. Why? Because it feels good to be the one that gets the attention rather than having to give attention. My favorite Bumble profile. Don't expect me to make the first move. Looks like someone didn't read the instructions. I hate how uncomfortable I can sometimes make women IDK when walking alone at night. Like sometimes you can just tell when they start walking faster and try to give you a wide berth. I completely understand why, I don't blame them. But it always makes me feel bad or like I should say something to ease the tension. But that'd probably make it worse. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to assault you. I love John Mulaney's stand-up about that. I just want to run up and grab her like, don't worry. I'm not going to rape you. A broke mom is trying her best. A broke dad is a deadbeat. Shit, I never noticed this, but it's totally how it is. That's sad. Actually, this reminds me of this Brendan Frazier video I recently saw. https://yahoo.be/6xmzav0eddc?556. You should watch 2-3 minutes before this part to get the context of this bit. But to me what it seems to boil down to is that the judge, though you earned a lot of money before, there is no reason you can't earn a lot of money again, and I feel like a judge would never say that to a mom. Actually check out the whole video while you're at it, it's really interesting. So dads just need to pay up, it's what a man does. Moms that can't pay up on the other hand are given more sympathy. Constant pressure to be strong, to take care of everything. I cannot show emotional weakness, because people will think less of me. I cannot have problems, cannot open up about them. I cannot hold my daughter's hand while walking down the street without getting weird looks. Cannot show love to my daughter in public. I cannot stress. I am supposed to carry everything on my shoulders, because I am a man. I cannot break. I am supposed to be stone cold, never tired machine. I cannot cry, stress, be tired, show love. I can't do anything. The only place I can be myself when I am alone. I can cry, I can be stressed, I can be tired of everything and be broken. I hate that. It's hard. Never in my life anyone prepared me for this. I've never known it will be this difficult. If not for my daughter, I would be dead already. I love her so much, I owe my life to her. Edit, these are only few things that makes being a man difficult. I could go on and on. I feel ya. And being blamed if you fail to be any of this is so hard to take. To be brutally honest, growing up as a man the society dictates you to be, means to just kill the boy wonder within you, and it's saddest when you can feel the boring asshole you are turning into. To top this off, if you are from a not so developed country where most of the systems are biased only for hustlers, it constantly sucks ass. Always having to be the stronger one, both mentally and physically. Sometimes it feels like, as a man, you are not allowed to have feelings or emotions, but that movie is fucking sad and I didn't want the dog to die either. I got dumped for crying when my mother got diagnosed with cancer. It really hurt because she was feminist and progressive and I really respected her, but once she saw me in tears once she could never see me as a strong attractive man again. Did you know that if you're sitting on the floor of your shower and you stand up quickly without thinking, you can totally step on your own ball sack? 0/10 do not recommend. Larry Longballs. The fact that I can't pay women compliments about their hair, nails, perfume, clothes without it being interpreted as anything more than a compliment. I don't want to date you, just want to tell you you look nice today. About 4 years ago in my high school biology class I was partnered with a really dark-skinned girl. The only reason I mention that is because she had really deep blue eyes which caught me off guard. I was preoccupied moving my books and backpack over to the sink that we had to sit at and I glanced up and her eyes were the first thing I noticed. Without even thinking I said, "Whoa, your eyes are beautiful." That was before I realized what kind of balls it would have taken me to say that normally. It came out as a sincere and honest first impression. And flirting was the last thing on my mind. I think the next day she asked the teacher to switch partners because she and another student had switched places without my knowing. The rest of that semester I couldn't help but feel that my sudden compliment might have come off wrong and that I made her uncomfortable.